We lived about 5 minutes out of town, and it was pretty routine for us to get up in the morning and go grab some coffee and breakfast. And we were nearing our driveway, and up the road away, on both sides of the road were two cornfields. We both noticed that there was this dark SUV backed in this little drive that farmers use to access the fields.
We'd never seen a vehicle parked in this location. So we pulled in, and we have a big gate at the front of our house. And then Molly gets out and grabs an Amazon package. And I went to get the mail.
You know, I'm not even actually thinking about the car at this point. I had pretty much dismissed it in my mind.
I reached in to grab the mail, and I looked out my peripheral vision. I saw the car creep out onto Grinnell, and my adrenaline dumped in my lower back. I felt it, felt like a small knife going in just above my kidneys. And I just went, oh shit. Immediately I knew something was wrong. I walked back to the car where Molly was as fast as I could.
And he looked at me and said 4 words, "Give me your gun."
As soon as I chambered around, there was a man, and he was 6'5", and he weighed 230 pounds, and he had a green camo ski mask on and a big jacket, and he had a big black pistol, and he put the pistol directly up to Molly's head.
I realized this man is going to shoot me. He's going to shoot through the glass of this window.
She has tinted windows, and I could see his body. He took his gun and he swung his gun towards me, and my gun is on him, and I shot. And the first shot went directly through both windows and hit him, and he went back. And I remember missing Molly's head by 4 inches, because the bullet missed the back of her headrest by 3 inches. And I could hear Molly screaming, "Oh God, 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 God." And it's like a child, it sounded like a child, just screaming for God. And blood is everywhere, and he comes towards me, and he comes around the back of the car. I brought my pistol up and shot him again. So when I looked around the car, I saw him running across the street.
I'm ducked down in the seat, and I grab the phone and I call 911. And the operator answered, and I just remember screaming at her, "Somebody is trying to kill us. There's a man with a gun."
I started screaming at him at the top of my lungs, "Stop! Put your gun down." And when he turned and his hands were here like this. And as soon as he turned, I took my pistol and I shot 3 more times. He stops and drops to his knees.
Haunts me to this day, but I just imagined him laying in the middle of the road, just bleeding to death, just dying. I thought, you have to get out. You may get shot too, but you have to get out. You have to help him.
I looked out my peripheral, my vision, and I saw the SUV that had been down at the cornfield. It pulled up behind Molly's car, and someone gets out and has a gun in their hand and runs to the front of the car, and I went, oh my God, that's Cheryl, my ex-wife. She goes, "Lindsay, no, I'm gonna kill Molly." And I didn't even think about the man that had tried to kill us. I just took off running as fast as I could, and I knew I was going to get shot in the back.
I remember putting my hand on the door handle to get out of the car, and it was at that exact moment that another person comes around the right side of my car. This time I know who this person is, clearly, and it was my husband's ex-wife. It was Cheryl. I couldn't see her eyes, but she just had this very definite look of, I'm going to do this, and she was even nodding her head at me like, your time's up, like, this is happening, you're not getting out of this. I was pleading with her, Cheryl, please, please do not do this. But then the other part of my brain was saying, she hates you, she's going to do this, you're not getting out of this. And I'll never forget, I see Lindsay sprinting up the side of my car, like running as fast as he can.
And she turns the gun on me, and as soon as she turns the gun on me, I dropped down and shot her 5 times. And she went back.
I was it was kind of like an out-of-body experience, like I was out of my mind with fear and terror. It's not even fear, it's absolute terror.
I could hear my wife screaming.
He took his hands and put them on my face, and he was like, it's okay.
And I said, it's over. And then right at that time, the police pull up, and they started swarming the whole entire area.
My gift from God, my daughter, was almost taken from me, and I just remember holding her and holding her. I just pictured archangels just swarming both of them. And God saying, no, you're not taking them today. It's not your day.
If you just look at the event logically, they came with multiple guns. They had cameras set up across the street. They had staked our house out months earlier. They had fake passports, fake driver's license. They even had fake license plates on their car. They had tickets to go to Costa Rica. They had name changes. They had planned this out for a year. For all intents and purposes, Molly and I should not be alive. But that day, there was a higher power there. I didn't shoot that gun 10 times and hit every single shot because I'm a good shot. That happened because good fought evil, and good won.
My mom and my husband had both told me that you should write a book, you should tell your story, because writing has always been a really good outlet for me. And I actually initially did try and sit down and write, a couple of months after the shooting, but it was just not the right time. I was too traumatized still. I really wanted to go on about my life and act like it had never happened. And it's like that living in denial and not doing the work and not dealing with what we had been through festered, capitulated, and I hit absolute rock bottom.
Molly and I had a situation where we almost broke up. And so you have a shooting and you almost die. Then you almost lose the love of your life, your soulmate. And you hit rock bottom.
They're gonna win. Even though they're not here anymore, they're gonna ultimately win because it's gonna destroy your life. Or you can pick yourself up by the bootstraps, you can dust the dust off of yourself, and you can do the work. And that is what I decided to do. That's what he decided to do. A year later, after I hit rock bottom, after I'm going through the healing process, I sat down at my computer and I honestly, I couldn't keep up. I could not type fast enough to keep up with the content that was coming out. And I felt like it was effortless. And I felt like almost my words were not my own. It was just pouring out of me. I realized, everybody has things that become tattooed on their soul, things that we go through life and we experience these things. Sometimes they're great things and sometimes they're really painful things, and they literally get etched on our soul. They don't go away. You can do all the therapy and all the work you want, but they're still there. With the right perspective and the right mindset, you can start to see your struggle as your strength. You can even learn to love and appreciate what you went through, because I can honestly say, somebody said, could you change it? I don't think I would, because that set the course to the path that I am on now. And I think I had to go through that to realize this truth that I am determined to share with other people. So Tattoos of My Soul was absolutely born from my own tattoo, my own pain, and it's a determination to help people have that shift in their life.
While Molly had a life-changing experience right in her home, I was a few thousand miles away in Costa Rica, and I came to this bizarre realization when I had to expose myself and my ego to myself. And then I had to merge back with my soul, because trauma pulls you away from your soul. And I realized that. And then I had to heal my heart, which means I had to forgive people. People that tried to kill me and tried to kill my wife. I was literally laying there on a mat, splayed open as a man, after bawling my eyes out like a child. And all I had in my heart was love. And all I had was forgiveness.
We had been apart for 40 days. And we came together, we met up in Florida just to kind of reconnect and spend some time together.
And she said, I think I'm supposed to help people heal spiritually, and I think you're supposed to go back to what you've always done, which is to help people to heal physically.
I said to him, I think we should do conferences or seminars where you talk about how everything is connected physically, and then I talk about more of the spiritual side and just my journey and the connection that I've made with the struggle becoming your strength and that faith in God and all of that.
We were thinking the same thing and never spoke it until we met up in Florida after 40 days of not being together.
So at that point, him and I both started discussing what would a business look like, what would we want to do, what would our message be, and then Tattoos of My Soul really became born, and the same with him with All In Nutritionals, and then ultimately Revive Events for our seminars.
The work I'm doing right now is amazing. I mean, it's a culmination of 35 years in the healing industry with a very clear direction on what I want to do. I create these things that help people to heal their body and to help people to heal their mind and their past and just all parts of their life.
God has healed her mind and her heart, and she's been able to start this journey, and I'm proud of her. And they're both working for the good, and I believe God's giving them the strength to do what they both love.
I realized you are still here and you're not fulfilling your purpose. You're basically wasting it, and God left you here for a reason, because He has work for you to do. So whatever words I write, whatever words I speak, it's all to fulfill this reason as to why I'm still living, why I'm still breathing, why I can still be a mother to my children. It's because I have this purpose to fulfill.
We're doing it because we have to. It's like a pregnant woman giving birth. That baby's coming out. These babies, these 3 babies are coming out, and they're coming out with purpose, and they're coming out with vision, and they're coming out with soul.